I found out my boyfriend has been hiding a whole other life, and it's tearing me apart. I couldn't stop thinking about those messages. Every time Mark was working late, I imagined them together in that hotel room. The more I thought about it, the angrier and more hurt I felt. Finally, I decided I couldn't keep pretending. The night he came home, I waited until he was in the kitchen making coffee. "Mark, can we talk?" I said, trying to keep my voice steady. He looked at me, confused. "Sure, what's up?" I took a deep breath. "I found the hotel receipt in your jacket pocket. And the text with Lena. What's going on?" His face went pale. He stuttered. It's not what you think. Then what is it?" I demanded, "Because it looks like you've been lying to me." He sighed, rubbing his temples. "Lena and we met before we got serious. I never told you because I was scared you'd freak out. But we weren't. I mean, it wasn't serious. It happened a few times when I was working late. I felt tears prickling my eyes. You lied about working late, and you've been seeing her behind my back." He shook his head. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "I was going to tell you, I swear." That night ended in silence, with more questions than answers. I never thought I'd be the person posting here about my relationship falling apart. I always saw myself as the trusting type, the one who believes the best in people until they give you a clear reason not to. Guess I was wrong. My boyfriend, Mark, and I had been together for 2 years. Everything looked perfect on the surface. We lived together, shared friends, made future plans. I thought I knew him better than anyone else. But last week, I stumbled onto something that shattered all of that. It started when I found a receipt in his jacket pocket. Not just any receipt, one from a fancy hotel downtown, dated a weekend. When he told me he was working late at the office, that alone would have been suspicious. But the kicker was that the receipt wasn't for one night. It was for 2. I waited a few days, hoping to catch him slipping up or to find a reasonable explanation, but nothing came. So I started digging. I checked his phone when he left it unattended. I know, it's not ideal, but I was desperate. And that's when I saw it, a series of messages from a woman named Lena, flirty, secretive texts about weekend plans, photos that looked like they were taken in that hotel room. I felt sick. The days after the confrontation were the worst. Mark tried to talk to me, apologized, promised it was a mistake, said he'd cut things off with Lena, but I didn't know if I could believe him. I kept replaying his messages, the hotel receipts, and the way he looked at me that night, guilty, but also distant. Our apartment felt different, cold, like a place where secrets lived between the walls. Friends told me to leave him, others said to try counseling. I was torn between my love for the guy I thought I knew and the betrayal I couldn't ignore. One night, I found another message on his phone, this time from Lena saying, "Miss you." I showed it to him. His face crumpled. "I told you I'd end it, I promise." But I didn't feel the promise in his voice. That's when I realized this wasn't just a mistake. It was a pattern. I knew I couldn't keep living in this limbo. Every day spent doubting him was a day I lost a little more of myself. So I laid it all out on the table. One evening, I sat him down and said, "Mark, I need to know what you want, me or her." He looked down, silent. "I'm not going to share you or compete with someone else. You have to choose." He finally looked up, eyes glassy. "I want you. I want us. But I'm scared of losing her, too." That crushed me. I realized he wasn't just cheating. He was stuck, afraid to let go of either life. I gave him a deadline. 2 weeks. Cut ties or I walk away. He agreed. 2 weeks felt like a lifetime. Mark said he was cutting ties. No more texts, no more meetings. I tried to believe him, but every time my phone buzzed, my heart jumped. One night, I came home early from work and found his phone on the kitchen counter. Curiosity got the better of me, and I glanced at the screen. There it was, a message from Lena. "Can we meet tomorrow? I can't stop thinking about you." I felt my chest tighten. I confronted him immediately. I thought you said this was over. He looked ashamed. It was, I messed up. That night, I realized some wounds don't heal when you want them to. The next morning, I packed my bags. I needed space. I moved into my sister's place for a while. The space gave me room to breathe, to think, and most importantly, to stop drowning in his lies. Mark called every day, leaving messages filled with apologies and promises. But I stayed firm. No contact, no excuses. Some days were easier than others. I distracted myself with work, friends, and long walks in the park. I rediscovered parts of myself I'd forgotten. Then, one evening, Mark showed up at the door. I miss you, he said. Softly, I'm done with her. I want to prove it. I wanted to believe him. I needed to, but trust isn't something you just turn back on. I told him, I'm not ready to forgive you yet. You have to show me, not just say it. He nodded, understanding. The next few weeks were a roller coaster. Mark did everything he said he would. No secret texts, no sneaky meetings, just honesty and patience. Slowly, I saw the man I fell for trying to come back to life. But I also realized something important. My happiness didn't depend on him. I started therapy. I talked about the betrayal, the anger, and the confusion. I rebuilt my boundaries and learned to trust myself again. One day, Mark asked if we could try again. I smiled gently and said, let's take it one day at a time. Our relationship isn't perfect. Maybe it never will be, but we're choosing to be honest. And that's the first step. Sometimes love is about fighting for each other. Sometimes it's about fighting for yourself. And sometimes it's both.